Hey, everybody, it's Eri from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. And you know, we're going to go fast because there's something unusual that came out. It is the end of Q1 here in Japan. Yeah, fiscal year ends March 31st. So April, May, June, this is the end of Q1. And usually what we have seen is a shareholders presentation from SBI 1 month after a quarter ends, but not this time. We received a current management information briefing, and it is huge. It's got 180 pages. SBI net income, record high. Closest company in their space is Nomura. They are far ahead in terms of operating revenue, 3 times ahead, but with the profit, they're not even double. So that just shows you the profitable businesses that SBI is in. So 180 pages, yeah, too much to go page by page by page. I'll put a link to it in the description below, but today we're going to go and pull out what is important for the XRP holder. So Kitao-san, he really believes in synergy, right? He's been building this synergy for years. And an example of that synergy was, well, he acquired one of the largest market makers called B2, what was it? B2C2. Yeah, and they provide liquidity to crypto and also to the FX market. Their transaction volume, for example, is up 6 times since 2018, and it is expected to grow much further. So I see that the fact that SBI has gotten so heavy into the whole crypto space, their revenue is just going to soar in comparison to the companies that are late to the party here. MoneyTap, the mobile payments app. This is interesting because I learned for the first time what the actual percentage is that Ripple now owns, because we knew they invested in MoneyTap a couple of months ago, but the amount was never disclosed. Well, they have a 33% share. And along with Ripple, there are also 38 other financial institutions, mostly banks, who have put money into this. And for the SBI Remit, that is the international remittance business, there are 6 banks that are live with RippleNet tech. And yesterday, we learned of one more. It is an agreement that was signed with a bank in the Shizuoka Prefecture. This is Hamamatsu Iwata Credit Bank. And they will use Ripple Tech to do the foreign exchange. Yes. Starting July 12th. This is also going to be something that will have 12 languages. And let me just read this portion of the announcement. SBI says our mission is to provide financial services centered on remittance to foreign residents, and we use Ripple's distributed ledger technology, which is characterized by the speed of deposit and low fees. So there you have it. And yes, you have to put the rails in first. This is not something that you just flip the switch on with XRP. Once those rails are in, you have the regulation okayed in that country. Then you start to build liquidity with the exchanges and the market makers that come in, and then XRP goes in. That's how that works. We have already rails that are responsible for being live by SBI going to Vietnam and to Cambodia. So the rails are being laid, everyone. I want to go to page 89. This is, first, this is just, I thought maybe it'd be interesting for those people who like the stats. So for Japan, you can see here that there are 786,000 and some people who work here from China, followed by those that are coming from Korea, and then Vietnam. The 4th is Philippines. Brazil is number 5. That Hamamatsu area has a lot of manufacturing, and so it has a very, very high, I think one of the highest. I think Guma Prefecture and this Shizuoka Prefecture have the 2 highest Brazilian populations. And also there are a lot of people from the Philippines and Nepal as well. There's a labor shortage here because there is a population decline, and it is really a challenge for Japan to have enough workers to get the job done. After Nepal, there is Indonesia, Taiwan, people from the US, and then Thailand. Yeah, only 57,000 people from the US. Very much a minority here. All right, jumping to page 89, you can see that the cumulative number of investee companies has been 1,000 by SBI. 807 of them were here in Japan. 193 are overseas companies. 172 have actually exited. That's what the shareholders want to see. How many of the investments have actually exited? 129 of those are through IPOs. 43 were through mergers and acquisitions. So R3, yep, huge, huge value to the SBI shareholders with the SBI R3 Japan. And do you know that in this document, it says that in 2020, 40% of all blockchain projects are being done by Corda. Wow, I didn't know that. And also for Ripple, I think the SBI shareholders, yeah, they want an exit. They really do want an exit. That's just the reality. And I think that once the SEC lawsuit is up, you're going to soon have a Ripple IPO. And the shareholders are going to be thrilled because that's why they invest in SBI, so that Mr. Kitao can bring some of that value that comes down the way. I want to share with you some Ripple pre-IPO pricing from this week. Here is linked to, they were offering Ripple shares for $34. And then this week also we see some Ripple pre-IPO shares being offered by EquityZen for $21. And so these prices are kind of in, I don't know, the middle. I've seen it as low as 18 since I've been tracking over the last couple of years. I've seen it as high as 62. So these prices are, I don't know, maybe a little soft, but you know, I should tell you that you never know really who's selling, and it could be something, you know, everybody has their reason to sell. So when they bring their shares to the secondary market, you don't know, they might have, you know, maybe we want to buy a house, or maybe we want to retire, or we can't wait anymore for the IPO, or I've got a son that just got admitted into Harvard. I mean, you just really don't know the reasons why and why people are motivated to sell. So those prices often reflect how quickly those shares want to be sold by the owners. So yeah, it's not that simple just to say, oh, the prices are lower than they were 6 months ago, that must mean blah, blah, blah. I don't believe that at all. All right, keeping on the other pages that I think are interesting. This is about XRP being on a distributed ledger technology that does not rely on proof of work. So it highlights that it'll be more competitive in the environmental standpoint. And of course, you know, SBI is mining in Rockdale, Texas, and it says here SBI Group plans that some 90% of the total electricity used in its mining business will soon be from renewable resources. And when you go down to Texas, I've done a lot of study on this. Roughly, it's like 3 cents a kilowatt. So it's pretty cheap. There is a little bit of solar. There's a little bit of wind. Most of the energy right now is coming from natural gas. And they're also using these new miners that have a special cooling system to them. So yeah, everybody's getting there. I know this is really a hot potato to talk about. I just think there's so many people working on solving this. That's really what I think. Do I believe they'll get it solved? No, but I think it's going to be improved. That's I shouldn't say I don't think it's going to be solved. I think it's going to be improved. I'm not big on the hydroelectric. I don't consider that environmentally sound, because I know what the dams do to the fish runs. So everybody always says that hydro is clean, but you know, the fish ladders, at least in the Pacific Northwest, that have been put in on the dams, so many of the salmon don't make it through the ladders. So yeah, I know I don't want to get sidetracked, but I just hope that they come up with some true environmentally friendly, you know, because even people talk about how the wind, those big windmill things are damaging to the birds. So I don't want to go in the green echo conversation, because what happens is there's just a blow up in the comments. And you know, I read all the comments. I read them because I keep the spammers out, and so I put all those comments through, and no, I don't censor. But yeah, this was not meant to be some big blow up in the comment section about Echo, because that's not my point today. I know, because that topic is just too hot. All right. For the first time ever in one of these reports by SBI, I have seen, I think, 2 pages on NFTs. And so that has created a lot of stories in the media today. This is one article that was written about SBI Holdings tout the XRP Ledger for NFT use in the tokenization of a variety of assets. This is on FX Street. Yeah, it's nice to see that, because the NFTs, I think we have just started to scratch the surface. They are going to evolve to something that I don't even think we have the concept yet. If you saw yesterday on Twitter, I highlighted a virtual reality artist from Japan who is painting with a brush ink and doing it through VR. I mean, it was really beautiful, and it's just really mind-blowing. All right, so what is happening here? Well, you're looking at that synergy that's being built, and this is a company, SBI, that is forming a global digital network, and they just launched a new company, SBI Digital Asset Holdings, in Singapore. They also, of course, made the investment in Signum Bank, and they're working with the Six Group in Switzerland. They also have this collaboration with the Börse Stuttgart in Germany. They're going to build the largest player in all these related businesses centered around the digital assets. I mean, NFTs, tokenized assets, the STOs, the exchange, and that one of those exchanges is going to be built in Osaka, Japan. It's going to be on blockchain. There's settlement services, there's custody, remittances, trade finance, supply tracking, wallets, advisory services, banking services. Monster. Just building a monster. Yeah, it's going to be very fun to see how this goes. And last but not least, I just wanted to tell you that I did a shout out to Thinking Crypto, because OKCoin, which he works at or for in some capacity. I'm not exactly sure what Tony's doing for them, but I know he's really happy with working there. And they announced on the 29th that they are going to start a sales office, their services, from the 30th. So you're probably going to see OKCoin launch a full-blown exchange here in Japan. That's just great. So I told him he must tell his guys that he's coming, and I'll tell my guys that we have lots of business to do. See you in Tokyo, Tony. All right, everybody, we're jumping to the fluff, and yeah, it's a little crazy always with food. This is a brand new summer food. It is with unagi. Unagi is eel, and it is the power food of summer because it is thought to give you the strength to endure the humid and hot summers. So yeah, this everybody eats unagi. Well, this is unagi chocolate. And I don't think turn up your nose. I do believe it's going to taste very good. I read the reviews and everybody was like, yeah, 2 thumbs up. I'm going to give it a try. I'll let you know. And speaking of interesting new concepts, of course, ramen is huge in Japan, right? And so many competitive battles for who is the best, who makes the best ramen. I mean, it's seriously competitive. And a lot of them get huge reputations and people will line up every day to go eat that ramen. Well, there is a young couple who decided to collaborate with some of the most popular ramen masters, and they had them freeze their ramen. And so a place in Kawasaki, which is just south of Tokyo, very, very close, called Ramen Journey, you can eat from a dozen of those famous shops that serve, and you don't have to travel clear across to another prefecture. And I hear from people who have tried it that it is really, really yummy. They probably worked very hard on creating a frozen version that when it is heated, it still tastes so great. So this is what the shop looks like. Typical, narrow, long, with stools. And yeah, this is a must-try place for me. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.